Hello, America, and everywhere else in the world. Don't you wish your girlfriend was hot like me? Ha! Don't you wish your girlfriend was a freak like me? Like me? Don't ya? Ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-da. Don't ya? What kind of fucking audacity do you have to make that song? Can you fucking imagine if that shit really happened in real life? Hey, don't you wish some hot ass chick walks in the room? Don't you fucking wish, right? I was thinking about that the other day actually because I heard that song somewhere. I don't know where I was, but it came on, and that's one of those songs that is secretly never gonna go away. You know, some songs go away forever. You know, and you can't even think of them right now because they're gone. But like, I think that song is as audacious as my chick bad, my chick hood, my chick do stuff that your chick wish she could. Like, okay. Actually, I think Don't You Wish Your Girlfriend Was Hot Like Me is another level. But that's like some confident shit to say to somebody, right? Like, you know what people think of you. You know how hot you think you are. And you can look at a motherfucker and just be like, motherfucker, you wish your bitch was as bad as me, right? So shout out to all my ladies out there who know that they're the baddest bitch walking around on the street today. And if you ain't the baddest bitch on this street, then cross the fucking street. There's plenty of streets out there. That's all I'm saying. She's for the streets. She is for the streets. She's a fucking street walk. But yeah, no, how you guys doing? I'm clearly doing okay, right? I'm alive and well, at least as well as I can be. I'm currently dealing with a piriformis strain, which basically means I sprained my asshole. I didn't sprain my asshole, but it's somewhere in that vicinity, right? Like if my balls, asshole, and gooch was a cul-de-sac, it's somewhere in there. And it just doesn't feel good. So what I'm doing is being an adult and not training for a couple of days, okay? You know, the doctor who has never worked out a day in her fucking life, and I'm willing to bet, told me not to work out. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to listen to the doctor. That's it. And I know it sounds like I'm bitter about it, because I am. But at least I'm honest, right? You can always appreciate that. People are afraid to be honest. I tell you what, people are afraid. People are afraid to speak their truth and be passionate about shit they care about because they're afraid of how other motherfuckers have judged them. The biggest way to set yourself free, I say this all the time, anytime someone does something crazy in front of a group of people or something that is like considered embarrassing, yeah, it's cringeworthy sometimes, right? When you see somebody do some wild shit that's like, oof, it's going to be hard to come back from that one. But I also always think, you're free now. That person's free now. Because there's nothing else that you can do. Like the fear of what people are going to think about what you do, once that's out the window, you are free now. So I invite you to get out there and do something insane in front of a bunch of people that care about you, just so they can realize that everything that they think is such high stakes is not really that high stakes at all, right? We just make mountains out of molehills all the time. I remember the first time that I tried cocaine, and I was always a careful kid, and I was just like, all right, I'm not going to do this because this is dangerous and I see how it ruins people's lives. From being a kid, I had that kind of attitude. And then I remember when I was faced with the opportunity to do it, I thought, you know what? Fuck it. And then I did it and realized it didn't kill me instantly. And I was like, is this what I was afraid of? Oftentimes, the thing that we're afraid of is not really that big of a deal, right? I like to think of monsters the same way I think of bad guys in superhero movies. Because don't you notice how they make bad guys usually really fucking ugly, and they make the good guys devastatingly handsome? The bad guys, if they were a monster in like a fucking ghost film, you'd be scared of them. But you're watching the good guys beat the shit out of the bad guys all the time, and you don't give a shit about the bad guys as much as you do if they were in a horror film, right? Doing drugs is bad, by the way. For some people. For some people, it's great. Until it gets really bad, right? The problem is, no one really knows how to be that good at doing hardcore drugs, right? Who's that good at it? You either die or you just completely tear your life apart. You know? Can you be successful and have strong, healthy relationships with anybody if you're doing something so unhealthy to yourself habitually? I don't know. I don't know if it's possible. I don't think it's impossible. I know that I'm not a person who can manage to have unhealthy habits like that, because if I did, then my life would be totally different and I wouldn't be happy, right? So I don't have that power. I don't possess that. I do other things that other people can't do, okay? I'm not going to go down the list of what those things are, but I do other things. But I tell you what, I haven't been on social media, and it's really made me realize something about myself. I don't miss it. At some point in time, there is going to be a point in time where I'd like to have social media be something that I use as a tool for business, and things like that. People have been listening to my podcast, which, by the way, shout out to people who have been tuning in, because I've been getting way more listeners, and I think it's because, you know what, motherfuckers can't find me on social media, so this is where you'll find me going forward, right? I'm not anywhere else. If you want to talk to me, if you want to know how I'm doing, check out Corey Has a Podcast. If anybody goes, yo, I haven't spoken to Corey. Yo, if you have my number, text me, bro. One of my favorite things recently has been, man, I haven't seen you in a while. And I'm like, yeah, well, here I am. Because if I'm in front of you, then you know what I'm doing. But if I'm not, then you don't know what I'm doing. And I got off the train at a stop that I don't normally get off at recently. And I was like, fuck, nobody in the world knows that I'm right here, right now. Isn't that cool? We've created this weird culture where everybody needs to know where we are at all times and what we're doing. Right? Like, if the world was more dangerous and people were trying to, like, find you and kill you, it'd be a lot easier nowadays than it's ever been. Because we just go, and I just left the Starbucks on 23rd and Park. That's how they got Pop Smoke. That's how they fucking got him. He posted something on social media. At least that's what I know, right? I'm so fucking ignorant. I could be wrong about that, but I think I'm not. But the thing I learned about myself is I learned that on idle time, which I do get, I do have downtime occasionally, and the more you do something, the more you want to do it, right? The more cocaine you do, the more you want to do cocaine. The more you drink, the more you want to do. The more you have sex, the more you'll have sex. The more you work out, the more you want to work out. The more you eat, the more you want to eat. Like, that's just how we are. It's just in our nature. It's the nature of the beast. And I'm a fucking beast. Puberty. Remember your first pubes? I don't. Anyway, what do you remember more, your first pubes or your first kiss? Because I don't remember either of those things. My first kiss was with Brother Patrick behind the slide in the playground. I think Brother Patrick helped me use the bathroom when I was in 3rd grade, so my pee-pee wouldn't get stuck in the zipper. If somebody ever called my penis a pee-pee, I think I'd be upset. But I also think I would think it was funny. Anyway, the thing that I learned about myself recently is when I have idle time, I usually would just open up Instagram and start scrolling. And then I would see people posting things, and I would feel compelled to post things as well. But, like, nothing that meant anything, right? Like, nothing work-related, nothing to push my business forward or anything like that. It would just be like, Oh, look at the sandwich I'm eating. Oh, look at the way my coffee cup is sitting on the windowsill next to that book. Looks like a little moment. Let me take a photo of that. For who? Oh, it's my mom's birthday. Can't let that go by without sharing that, right? Everybody in the world needs to know that it's my mom's birthday, right? I was one of those people. And I hate to admit it because I hate to admit that. And I don't think there's necessarily anything wrong with being one of those people. I do, however, think if that's all you are, then maybe that's something you need to look into, because that's not the real world, right? It almost makes you want to, like when you see someone that you love and care about, you want to grab them by the shoulders and fucking shake them. Like fucking every time you hold a baby and you just want to shake it. No, I've never thought about shaking a baby, but it makes you want to shake your friends and be like, hey, wake up. I'm right in front of you. You're just on your phone. There's nothing more frustrating than being with someone and they're just scrolling on fucking Instagram and you're just trying to hang out with them. At least for me, I think that shit sucks. But yeah, thank you to everybody who's been listening to the podcast. And I do have my email out for people to write in, and my email is coreyhasapodcast@gmail.com in case anyone would like to write in and have any suggestions or whatever the case may be, ask questions, need advice on a life thing, whatever it is. I was thinking about, I heard something the other day and somebody said, yeah, I would rather die like this. And I always think that's funny when someone says that, because how do you know, like someone like, I think I've talked about this before. Like people will be like, oh, I'd rather drown than burn to death. Or I heard somebody say, I'd rather blow up than burn to death. And it's like, don't you think blowing up would also suck too? Like if you blew up, I don't know about that. And no one's ever come back from the fucking dead. Happy Easter, by the way. And been like, oh, so listen, you might want to go with the burning to death option just because, wait, how are you in high temperature situations, right? Like, you can't do that. You can't do that at all. But anyway, I've been learning new words. On Urban Dictionary specifically. I've been trying to reignite my group chat with my my two buddies. I'm not going to say their names, but I've been trying to reignite it because it's a safe space. It's a safe space that you can go to. There's a couple different types of group chats. There's a group, and group chats only really work if everyone has the same type of phone. So if everyone's got an Apple phone, boom, group chat's great. If one person in that group chat has an Android phone, throws it off a bit, right? Then it's green. The fucking bubbles are green. And people don't like that. You know, I associate green with puke, vomit, if you will, throw up, if I may. So, no, you know, and it kind of fucks up the vibe. But maybe I wouldn't feel that way if I had an Android phone. I know I touched on the phone thing last week, but sometimes I'll listen back and I'll realize, like, damn, I want to add something to something that I said. And I talked about dropping your phone face down and being afraid to pick it back up. The new phones nowadays, they don't break anymore. You ever notice that? Take your phone right now. If you're listening to your phone and you got your AirPods in, take your phone right now and throw it at the wall as hard as you can. Go ahead. I hope you did it. I hope you just did it. And now pick it up and tell me if it's broken, right? Or your money back guaranteed. Remember those commercials to be like, guaranteed to work or your money back? Were they really giving people's money back? You used to have to call a number and be like, listen, I want the wine glass. I want the mattress that you can fill up a glass of wine and you can still jump on the bed with, and the glass of wine won't spill. Can I get that? Yeah, sure. Give me your credit card over the phone. And then people started stealing people's credit card information. You could steal anything. You could steal someone's whole identity. I am confident that no one would benefit from stealing my identity. I'm confident about it, right? Doesn't mean they won't do it, but joke's on them. I feel like if someone tried to steal my identity, they would be so fucking mad that they didn't get any benefits from it that they'd probably come try to find me and kill me. Like, I put them in a worse situation, right? But that's just, that's not me having a self-esteem issue. That's just a fact. We got to learn how to be honest with ourselves. We like to pretend because we live in a world where we can control what kind of information we put out about ourselves so much, right? So I could just post a highlight reel all over social media and show myself on vacation all the time. I could show I could show pictures of myself in a relationship that look really healthy, right? Because no one's ever been in a fucking argument or a serious fight with their significant other and said, hold on a minute. Let me put the tripod up so I could get this on video, so I could post this on my Instagram story so people could see what the fuck is really going on in here. Because people would also then have comments about that, right? We don't have boundaries, which is fine because we actually did this to ourselves. Like, can you believe that someone could post something on social media and then other people have negative shit to say about it and then they get mad at them? It's like, you put this out there for the world to see and not everybody's going to like it. Newsflash, right? You sound like the kind of fucking person that would get mad because they came in 7th place and didn't get a trophy. Oh, I think we should all get a trophy. No, you shouldn't. You came in 7th place, you fucking loser. The person who came in 1st place should get a trophy. Maybe the 2nd and 3rd. Not you. Not you. You 7th place. Set yourself on fire and jump off of a fucking building. All right? Or just try something else. Pick up a new instrument. Learn how to play the violin, right? Man, I'll have a cup of coffee in the mid-morning. Looks like rain. Looks like rain. Looks like I don't want to leave the fucking house. That transitional weather really lingers. They're talking about all this global warming shit, but I'm not seeing it because it's cold still. It's not freezing, but it's cold, right? So is global warming real or are they lying? Is anything true or is this all a simulation, right? You ever look up at the sky and go, oh, this is definitely, I'm inside a snow globe and some giant motherfucker is looking at it and moving it around on a shelf and there's like a whole menagerie full of snow globes, full of different versions of the world that we live in, and some of them you don't even exist in. Or maybe I've been off social media this much that this is the kind of shit I sit around thinking about when I'm on downtime. Because I use my imagination. Right? One big thing, and I implore you to start trying to implement this into your lives, even though I don't want to be one of those fucking people that's like, you should live like this. Try to be about what you say you're about. I think being about what you say you're about is going to make people go, I am about what I do. Everything I say, I stand by it. It's like, no. Nope. Hee-haw! Be about what you say you're about. Do what you say you're going to do. Do the hard things. Even though they're difficult, but they might be the right things to do. Be actually kind. Not just so because people can see whether or not you're kind. Right? Have a good heart. Make decisions about how you feel about things before you know what everybody else thinks. Get all the information about the thing and make it fucking formulate an opinion. Don't get the opinion of everybody else and then get the information. You feel me? Because that's the culture that we live in. And I think it's bullshit. I think it's lame. I think it's stupid. And I think if you disagree, you should hit me up on CoreyHasAPodcast@gmail.com and holla at your boy. Yeah. Be true to you. Do you. Remember when it was cool to be different than everybody else? The problem is, no one can actually be different because there's too many of us. Somebody's going to like your different. Your version of different, somebody's going to like it, and they're going to want to be like that too. Right? And that's fine. You don't own Janko jeans. You don't own nose piercings. You fucking cocksucker. I tell you what, cocksucker has been one of my favorite things to call people that I'm upset with at the moment this week. Like, and this fucking cocksucker told me that I needed to do this. And it's like, do you feel that strongly about it? No, not really. But it feels good to let my feelings out. It feels good to let my emotions out. I'm working on myself in therapy. It's a huge, really important thing for me. You know, I like to believe that I'm a very reasonable guy. But I also am aware that I sometimes will fly off the fucking handle. You know, like, if I'm talked to in a certain way, right? Like, I'm nice until you talk to me a way I don't want to be spoken to. And I think there's a level of advocating for yourself. And then there's a level of, like, over fucking reacting too. So, but again, you start learning things about yourself. Sit with your thoughts. Sit with your fucking feelings. Also understand that you're allowed to want to do something or not want to do it. You're allowed to make mistakes, fall on your face, get back up and fucking keep walking again. Even if you do it in front of so many people. You know what I mean? Even if you do it, you fall down, you bust your fucking lip open, and everybody's looking at you like, damn, all the change fell out of his pocket, and he dropped the sandwich he was eating. And you pick that fucking sandwich back up, and you keep eating it. And you keep walking, right? Because life is about moving forward, right? Time don't go back. It goes forward. If you spend your life, look at me like I'm some motivational speaker. I tell you what, I don't know much, all right? I can only speak from experience. There's like construction going on outside, so I apologize if you guys can hear. I'm going to assume the hammering. I think that's hammering. It's definitely not jackhammering. Yeah. Now I lost my train of thought, but I tell you what. Don't let them get you down, all right? Be true to you. And explore your feelings. Feel them. Get comfortable with being a little bit uncomfortable sometimes. You know, I think instant gratification has made us all into a bunch of little babies. Little baby bitches. Right? We just want it now. We don't understand the value of going through hell to get something good, or waiting for something that's worth the wait, right? Because everything just shows up so quickly. Just keep that in mind when you're bitching about your life, right? And if you guys want to hit up your boy to tell me how dope my shit is, or to tell me how much you fucking hate it, because I'll sit here and I'll read it on the podcast. You can ask me for advice. You can ask me for my take on something, right? Hit me at CoreyHasAPodcast@gmail.com. That's the third time I said it. And thank you all for listening. Have a great day. Have a safe flight if you're on a plane. Have a safe train ride. Hopefully no one jumps in front of your fucking train and makes you late to work. Or at least, like, let's let that person kill themselves in peace, right? All right, guys. Have a great day. I'll talk to you later. Peace.